So on episode 3, I left you guys with pulling out the chassis harness. That's what we're going to get back to today. I have to pull out the dash to basically get to the rest of the harness that's underneath. A couple little things on the back like pulling the tail lights and a few other little panels, interior pieces, so then I get the remainder. But yeah, the goal is to get the chassis harness out today. Let's get to it.
I did a quick assessment of removing the dash before starting, attempting to locate all the hardware that needed to be removed so the dash could be pulled from the car. I've seen other videos explaining how to do this, but I feel none of them really did it any justice, or they left out certain things. So I'm going to do my best to show you guys every piece that you need to remove so you aren't lost in the dark. Across the top portion of the dash near the windshield, the first thing you're going to have to remove is the dash cowl panel held in by these 4 screws. Located underneath the panel is 6 10mm bolts. The bolt on each side closest to the door is the trickiest ones to get, but not too complicated. I found the easiest way was to get a swivel socket and a 6-inch extension, and they came right out. After removing the 6 bolts from the top side, the next part I focused on was the steering column. As many others have done before, dropping the steering column allows a lot more clearance for getting the dash out. Remove the 2 12mm bolts under the steering wheel here, and the 4 bolts at the back holding it to the firewall. There is a bit of factory tape to remove from this portion of the harness connected to the steering column. Underneath the AC blower, you'll find more 10mm bolts to remove as shown here. Then, remove the hardware from these side brackets. Lastly, remove the hardware from the left and the right side of the dash underneath. I actually really don't know if these screws are factory, but they also need to be removed to get this bezel off.
Yeah, it wasn't too difficult for the most part. You just have to remove those screws that go along the top. Couple on the sides, underneath the heater blower, and one thing that you have to look out for, like I said earlier, is just this piece right here. I believe it hooks to the odometer or the speedo or one of those two, but you basically just have to reach behind, unloosen this a little bit, and after that, dash pulls right out. Yeah, so basically the next step, after I'm going to take a couple minutes of a break, but yeah, the next step is to remove the rest of that chassis harness from the front, and then the only thing that's left is getting the chassis harness just out of the back, and we're basically done with wiring. So one other quick little thing I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to disconnect these 4 bolts that go to the steering rack and basically just take the steering wheel out of the car, because I feel like for the most part this being out of the way is going to help me a lot. Out of the car.
I am not necessarily labeling what each wire goes to, but instead just putting numbers that correspond to putting it back, even though I have previously stated that I'm not using this harness.
You know, I'm kind of sitting here and I'm trying to figure out like what my next step is. The dash is out. But the question is, do I have to remove the heater core to get the last of the wiring behind it?
Guess we're gonna find out.
So as you can see, I've labeled a couple of different things down here to remember where these wires go back, even though I previously stated that I'm not going to be using any of this wiring. It's nice to label it. But my next little issue is that the chassis harness that goes over here to the steering column goes behind the heater core back there. So the question is to fish it out through this side and be done with it, do I have to remove the heater core, or can I fish it? Okay, so I'm not gonna BS you guys. This one took me a hot minute. I was trying to figure out how to get the AC and the blower and everything out from underneath the dash so that I can get the harness pulled all the way through. And I couldn't figure out where it was connected until I came on this side. Right there and right there. 2 bolts that basically connect it to the inside. You know, it's a good thing I actually took the heater, blower, and AC and all that stuff out, because there's absolutely no way you would have got the chassis harness out without doing that, because look at this.
So located behind the heater and AC is this factory plastic piece screwed to the wall and holding the harness in place. If you guys are enjoying the content so far, consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification so that you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. I'm really trying to do this build justice by documenting every step so that anyone who finds himself working on these first-gen Datsuns has a clear understanding of what to do. Thanks.
Wiring's out from the front. The only thing left is to get into the trunk section. There's 2 wires that are connected behind some interior panels, and then the last thing I have to do is crawl underneath the car, disconnect the wiring from the fuel pump, and we're done. A quick little recap. Back in episode 3, I followed the chassis harness back to the back of the vehicle. I've disconnected most of the stuff that's back here, but the last 2 connectors, one's behind this panel, and then one's behind this panel. And then the last little wire that goes down to the fuel pump, and calling it good. Okay, so I've been taking this car apart for the better part of 2 weeks. Got the engine out, got the dash out, interior, a lot of different things. And it's really sad to say that the thing that has kicked my most is interior trim pieces. Take a look at this. This last cable that I need to get out to get the harness is hidden behind this interior panel. And for some odd reason, this panel is totally kicking me. I have removed all of the little clips and bolts, even removed the little trunk hatch that's connected up there, right there. And I still can't get this panel out without like dang near breaking it. Same thing for this side. Not sure what I'm doing wrong, but by the looks of it, I'm making a YouTube video and I might have to go check YouTube on how to take a freaking interior panel out, because I can't seem to figure it out. So, we'll be back. We're back. 3 YouTube videos later, and guess what? I haven't done anything wrong. According to a couple of different videos that I looked at, you just gotta pull. I really hope I don't break this.
After some finessing, I finally got the panel out.
Alright, remember how I told you guys I said I was gonna mess up? We did that. So, if you look, it's exactly what I thought it was. That last wire is connected to the rear side marker lights. And the only thing you really gotta do is just take the grommet out of the wall and pull the plug. Just to give you guys an idea really quick. This is the bracket that essentially holds the strut towers in. This is welded, it's tack welded right here. I'm gonna be redesigning this in CAD because this is ridiculous, and I can come up with something a lot easier and a lot more replaceable, so goodbye to this.
The next portion to tackle is just removing the grommet here and disconnecting the wire from the fuel tank. Then it slides right out. And the last piece of the puzzle is on the passenger side near the door. There's this hole where the harness routes behind the sheet metal and it runs to the back and into the headliner. I recommend removing the 3 10mm bolts holding this cover for easier access and fishing the harness through as I show you here. This portion of the harness is connected to the dome light. A few simple trim clips to destroy and you can finally call yourself done.
Guys, it's finally out. So just to give you guys just a quick little recap of where we're at so far. Engine's been removed, most of the interior's out, seats are out, dash, electrical harness, pretty much we're almost down to bare bones. So the next steps are paint and body, the one everybody loves. So yeah, been one hell of a day. I want to take a quick moment to thank everybody that has watched my videos so far. I've only had this YouTube for about 2 weeks and it's really awesome to see the responses that I've been getting. A lot of people that have been questioning doing certain things have gotten a lot of good information from what I'm putting out. So if you want to continue watching, hit the subscribe button, watch my previous video, or take a look at any of my other videos so far. I'll catch you guys in the next one.